has an all-time great chin going in the ring with tremendous punchers. Terence Crawford coming up 2 weight classes, do any damage? Yeah, he's a slick boxer, and he's also a good puncher in the welterweight division, in the junior welterweight division, in the lightweight division.
But I do believe that if you can box and you can move, that you can beat Canelo. You can outpoint him.
Of the opponent. But anybody that's watched Terence Crawford's career knows full well how much talent this young man has. I mean, he is absolutely sensational, both as an orthodox and as a southpaw fighter. You can't really tell which is his favoured side.
ESPN analysts Dan Raphael and Stephen A. Smith didn't hold back when discussing this matchup, confidently predicting that Terence Crawford has what it takes to dismantle Canelo Álvarez. They pointed out that while Canelo was once known for his granite chin, recent fights have shown cracks in his defense as he's been hit cleanly and hurt more often. They argue that Crawford's mix of slick movement, laser-sharp timing, and sneaky power makes him a nightmare opponent. According to them, Crawford not only has the tools to outbox Canelo, he has the ability to hurt him decisively.
I think Terence Crawford is a marvelous boxer, arguably the best in the world, pound for pound. But can you hurt Canelo? If you can't hurt him, I have no doubt he can outbox him. My issue is, if you can't hurt him, what kind of a challenge can you truly pose? What do you say to that?
No, that's a great point. I mean, here's the thing. Canelo Álvarez has a historically great chin. Now, I go back way back when he first came to the United States and started boxing, and he found himself on an HBO pay-per-view undercard years and years ago, fighting against the older brother of the great Miguel Cotto. His name was Jose Miguel Cotto, and he had gotten a ton of hype. He had signed with Golden Boy Promotions, and a lot of those of us in the media. And I had seen him a couple of times before that. This is my first time seeing him in person, really paying close attention. And he almost got knocked out in the first round. And I remember Stephen A. all of us looking around at Media Row going, what the heck is this all like about? This man can't take a shot. He's going to get drilled. He was lucky that the fight was over, that the round was over in round 1, or there might have been so much more trouble. Stephen A., that was like, 16, 17 years ago. I've never seen him wobbled, rocked, physically, visibly hurt since then. He has an all-time great chin going in the ring with tremendous punchers. Terence Crawford coming up 2 weight classes, do any damage? Yeah, he's a slick boxer, and he's also a good puncher in the welterweight division, in the junior welterweight division, in the lightweight division. But even at junior middleweight, which is where Terence Crawford had his most recent fight back in August, when he moved up and he won a world title, he didn't blow the doors off. He fought a very tough, solid opponent named Israel Madrimov. He gave him a good fight. It was very close. Madrimov's people seem to think he might have even been able to edge it out. But if you can't hurt an Israel Madrimov at 154, what the heck are you going to do with Canelo Álvarez, the sturdiest guy in the world, at 168? So that aspect of it is certainly a problem. You mentioned about Charlo. Charlo was there to get his check. I know one thing about Terence Crawford. He's not going to just come to turn up to get the check. He'll at least try. And Charlo, I don't think, really tried.
Stephen A. Smith doubled down on his prediction, calling Crawford the clear favorite. He stated with absolute confidence that Crawford will find a way to win. For Smith, the difference isn't just Crawford's technical skill, it's his hunger. He stressed that Crawford's mindset and burning desire to prove himself will play just as big a role as his skill set. Smith's passion highlighted how highly he values Crawford's ambition and relentless drive heading into the fight.
You got a love for boxing.
Yes,
Who
love
gonna
boxing.
win the fight, man? That's coming up, the biggest
Crawford.
fight in boxing.
Crawford.
Huh?
Crawford. I'm not hesitating. Crawford. I'm not even hesitating. Crawford.
You gonna stand on that all the way to September 13th?
I love Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo by decision. I can't see anybody knocking out Canelo Álvarez. But I do believe that if you can box and you can move, that you can beat Canelo. You can outpoint him.
That's right.
When I think about Canelo, one of the things that I don't like about Canelo, despite his greatness, and a neck as wide as Broadway for crying out loud,
Right.
it's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yeah.
That's not beating Crawford. I will confess, I think Gervonta Davis's trainer, Cal, I think he said this. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble if he decides to engage with Canelo, because Canelo is the naturally bigger, strong fighter. And I don't care that Crawford's gotten bigger, and I don't care that Crawford's gonna go in there just as big as Canelo. Canelo is accustomed to fighting at the weight, and Crawford is not. And Canelo is a genius in this regard. You don't see him show up for fights not ready. He's always ready.
Always prepared.
He's always ready.
gotta
He's
give him that.
always prepared. So I think he's the slower fighter, though. And I think that Crawford is brilliant as a boxer. And I think that between switching to conventional and southpaw, using his jab and movement, I think that Crawford is going to outpoint Canelo because he's faster. But I don't think he's...
Teddy Atlas weighed in, emphasizing that skill will always beat size when the skill gap is wide enough. He argued that physical advantages like weight and reach mean little against a fighter who can neutralize them with timing, precision, and adaptability. Atlas believes Crawford's ability to dismantle opponents with pure technique makes Canelo's power and bulk less effective, reinforcing the idea that true mastery can flip the script in a fight like this.
Maybe he's a little overrated.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Álvarez at 168 pounds.
Canelo's really good, really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants, but you have that or you don't have that ingredient. I think he has it. Canelo's really good. He's tremendous. But could he be a tiny bit overrated? The greatness is within Crawford. It's in his desire, it's in his mind, it's in his makeup, where he came from. I know he's moved up the weight class, can carry it, but those intangibles, I believe that he has them.
Al Bernstein focused on Crawford's unpredictability, one of his most dangerous weapons. He explained that Crawford rarely fights the same way round after round, constantly adjusting his approach mid-fight. This adaptability creates major problems for opponents, especially someone like Canelo, who thrives on timing and counterpunching. Bernstein also noted that Crawford's ability to switch seamlessly between orthodox and southpaw adds yet another layer of difficulty, leaving opponents guessing and vulnerable to combinations they don't see coming.
Most fans or most people would probably say Crawford, I'm guessing, because that's a big part of how he's won, and everybody feels that and rightfully so, that the way he's figured out, he's constantly changing from lefty to righty. He's a person that alters his attack. Sometimes he's a boxer, sometimes he's walking people down. Canelo's style is more the same in most fights. He is a counterpuncher who's waiting for you to make your move so he can counterpunch you. Then when he has you in trouble, he's willing to move forward. His attack is a pretty straightforward one. On the face of it, you might say Crawford, but I think the thing about Canelo Álvarez is that he has seen every style that you can see.
Gareth A. Davies highlighted Crawford's wealth of experience, pointing out that he's been competing at the highest level for over 15 years. This longevity has honed his instincts, refined his ring IQ, and taught him how to stay calm under extreme pressure. Davies stressed that Crawford has faced and beaten every style imaginable, from power punchers to slick movers to rugged veterans. This adaptability, paired with patience and technical brilliance, has made him one of the most complete fighters of his generation. According to Davies, that kind of experience can't be overlooked when imagining a clash with Canelo Álvarez.
The levels that he's gone through, the weights that he's gone through, and the opponents that he has been in with, he's come up short against a couple. But he's come through some big challenges as well through his, 65, 66 professional bouts since he was 15 years of age. There's no doubt that this is the biggest test of Terence Crawford's career, not only because of the weight step up, but also because of the level of the opponent. But anybody that's watched Terence Crawford's career knows full well how much talent this young man has. He is absolutely sensational, both as an orthodox and as a southpaw fighter. You can't really tell which is his favoured side. He's that good, the angles that he creates, and the way that he not only dissects people, but the way that he puts his foot down when he gets somebody hurt is
he's spiteful.
He's truly, truly impressive.
But what he also does, and this is where I think people are making the mistake with the fight with Israel Madrimov last summer in Los Angeles, was that Terence doesn't mind doing enough to win. He doesn't, if he knows he's got to win on points, he's happy to tuck everything neatly in the office and win round by round. It reminds me of Floyd Mayweather, it reminds me of Pernell Whitaker, it reminds me of guys that win with ease without overstretching themselves, that don't have to get in a battle. But when he's got someone hurt, as you rightly say, he's spiteful. I'm not sure he'll get Canelo hurt in this fight, but if his timing and his movement are on, the slightly slowed Canelo, who likes to load up these days, could find himself frustrated by Terence Crawford.
Yeah, and there's also the aspect of when he is behind. We've all seen that famous clip where he's fighting Sean Porter. Somebody sells him ringside. They've got him down on the cards. He goes through the gears and stops Sean Porter in the very next round. There's also that element to him. He's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant, but he's also fighting someone that's equally as brilliant. A very different type of style, Canelo.
And a fan favourite.
Confidence was another key theme. Analysts noted that Crawford consistently proves himself not just in official bouts, but in sparring as well, often dominating even elite training partners. This consistent excellence has built an unshakable mental toughness and belief in his own abilities. Crawford steps into the ring with the conviction that he can outthink, outmaneuver, and outperform anyone, including Canelo Álvarez.
He's so confident. He's so confident that he's about to become undisputed. Listen, 2 weeks to go, less than 2 weeks to go now. What? We're talking about 12 days. 12 days. What can we expect from this unbelievable showdown? Listen, the build-up has been absolutely incredible. When you talk about the sparring stories, when you talk about the unbelievable rumors that we've been hearing for the past 10 to 12 weeks, will but Crawford's power carry? Will Canelo age overnight? So many questions that we have when it comes to this unbelievable fight. But not too long to go, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to find out the truth. We are about to find out who's truly the greatest of this era. And let me tell you this. I said this in most of my videos so far. The more I watch Bud Crawford and the more I watch Canelo Álvarez tape, the more my appreciation for both men increases. Listen, Canelo is the greatest pressure/counter puncher in history when he puts both together. And Crawford is the most dynamic fighters my eyes ever saw. Ever saw. Now, listen to this. The moment this fight got announced, we didn't know the things that we know now. We didn't know about their sparring partners. We didn't know about the shape that they were gonna come in for this fight.
Comedian and boxing aficionado Aries Spears provided a historical perspective, noting that in many of boxing's great cross-border rivalries, American fighters known for speed and slickness often found ways to neutralize Mexican warriors known for aggression. Spears acknowledged that Canelo is a complete fighter, but argued that this fight continues a long tradition where timing, defense, and adaptability often prove decisive.
Top-notch Hispanic fighter, put him against top-notch black fighter, the black dude usually edges him out. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the Latino fighters, because look at the greats. De La Hoya, motherfucking
Roberto Duran,
Arguello, Felix Trinidad, what's my man's name? Chavez.
Huh?
So there have been legends, but 9 times out of 10, when the top Mexican legend takes on the top black legend, the black dude wins. Boxing and basketball is just something that niggas just, we got that wop that just, we edge you out. Duran lost to Hagler. He got knocked out so viciously by Hearns. Rumor is he's still waking up today. He lost he did the no-mas with Leonard.
Yeah, no, I've been hanging out with Sugar Ray Leonard recently. We talked about that whole situation.
De La Hoya lost to Floyd. He lost to Bernard. He lost to Sugar Shane Mosley. Usually the black fighters edge out the Latinos when it come down to it.
So basically you're saying Crawford's gonna win because he's black.
I'm saying he's gonna win because he's got skills. But that black component, that's that extra juice.
That's that extra juice? I mean, look.
It's like the Batmobile when it's going fast, and then he hits the nitro button, and the flame shoots out of the back of the car and takes it to another level. Black dudes have the nitro switch.
On the other side, Canelo Álvarez maintained his usual poise and confidence. He dismissed the idea that he needs anyone's approval to validate his greatness. For Canelo, self-belief has always been central to his identity. His resume, filled with victories over elite names, speaks for itself. But this also highlights the difference in mindset. While Crawford is still chasing a defining win, Canelo sees himself as already at the top of the sport.
You know you're gonna have, right? They can't deny you anymore.
I don't know, but I don't give a fuck, dude. So, I feel I'm the best, and that's it. I don't focus on if the people say or put me in the first position, I'm the best. I feel I'm the best. I'm doing because I love boxing.
I call Canelo out because, like I said, he the last great fighter amongst the era that surpassed us. This is my mega fight. This is my moment.
You didn't have much interest in this Crawford fight. You were saying that there wasn't much in it for you, and you pointed out that people will say that he was too small. What changed?
I think he's one of the best fighters for more fun. No, he accomplished a lot of things too. Mexican with the American fighter is always big.
When he fights you at Allegiant Stadium, I imagine it's going to be 55,000 plus screaming Canelo fans, right? Many from Mexico.
Sean Porter spoke with conviction, insisting that Crawford's preparation is on another level. He believes Crawford will enter the ring with a game plan specifically designed to dismantle Canelo's style. Porter cited Crawford's speed, timing, and discipline as the keys that will separate him on fight night. He predicted a performance so complete it could redefine expectations in boxing, cementing Crawford's legacy with one of the most commanding victories in recent history. The stakes, Porter added, could not be higher. For Crawford, it's the biggest test of his career. For Canelo, a loss to a naturally smaller man could leave a permanent mark on his legacy, something history never forgets.
Canelo's legacy. And he gave a resounding yeah. A resounding yeah. He said it would tarnish Canelo, massively tarnish Canelo's legacy. And some of the things that he said were just basically things that most of us know, just some register and make sure that other people know and others don't, right? But it would tarnish his legacy, and for the obvious reasons. One is, we know that the guy's older. Crawford's older. He's going to be 38 years old here, right? So he's an older fighter. He's an active fighter, right? And most of the time, these are things that, make people say that people are going to lose. Man, he's inactive. So he's pretty inactive, hasn't fought in a year, hasn't fought more than once a year in 3 to 4 years, maybe even 5 years. And also, he's coming up in weight.
Showbiz the Adult, a respected voice in boxing, offered a balanced take. He reminded viewers that Canelo's success has always been built on toughness, pressure, and the ability to trap opponents. His durability, sharp counters, and ability to break opponents down make him a nightmare for anyone. At the same time, Showbiz pointed to Crawford's wrestling background, which gave him exceptional balance, control, and anticipation, qualities that complement his elite boxing IQ and give him a rare edge.
Uses his legs, he uses his core, and then his neck itself to lift up Bivol like Bivol was a featherweight. That is a huge representation of how strong Canelo is. When you look at his workouts, you can tell why he was able to do that. All these damn neck exercises that I wouldn't dare do. Okay, that stuff looks painful. The squatting and all that stuff that he's doing is exactly why Canelo Álvarez, honestly, is a strong fighter. He tried to do it again with William Skull. William Skull shook out of it, but he is a bull. Listen, Terence Bud Crawford is strong. He is, okay? And he understands leverage, and he understands those things because he wrestled. Honestly, very true. But Saul Canelo Álvarez is also extremely strong. Now, let me know how you feel in the comments below.
That's all for today's breakdown. Stay tuned for more coverage as the fight approaches.